this camera, but it's the only place where I could rest the phone. All right, darling. I wanted to share this because it would be relevant for a lot of people, and it's not just about grief. I think it's about anything you're trying to process, really, because it's hey, do you want to go there, Bubba? Good girl. Because it's very surprising how human ego and emotions affect you. Good girl. What do you want to do today? It's been a weird day because I woke up. Do you know when you wake up and you got to go to the dentist? And good girl. Go on then, get down if you want. Go for a roam. And you literally feel that big sinking thing in your stomach that you don't want to do anything. I didn't really know what it was. I just felt really bad and I felt very tearful, crying a lot, and I didn't really know what it was about. And this is the most important thing really about when I do these videos, about just stopping, because those stops help you to check in with yourself, because you're too busy navigating your day to work out what's actually going on. And it's not until something like you're ill or you start hurting or something happens that you finally get the red flag. So to avoid the red flag, you need to sit and look at what's going on. So I'm like, why do I feel so sad? And then I had to go and have my car MOT'd today. Don't knock the camera. Thank you, Myla. And I was like, it can't be that, surely. But it was so triggering because obviously, if you don't know Darren, who passed last year, he used to work, before he worked for our crystal shop, he used to be a mechanic and run his own garage. And so all of the thought processes of going into an MOT garage, which is what he used to do, obviously were creating a problem in the back of my mind, in my energy. And last year, I vaguely recall going in to an MOT garage in Essex, and because I was doing everything robotic and I was still in denial, it didn't sink in where I was and what I was doing. But I've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this, if you're in grief or had a loss or broken up with someone, whatever it is, that it's the following one that sinks in if it's, you know, quite a while after the passing. Because everything, my birthday, Christmas, the MOT, everything that I had to face last year, it didn't even sink in, because I was just, most probably because I was on a lot of medication, but it just didn't sink in what I was doing. I just went through the motions. But I've noticed this year I'm suddenly aware. I'm aware that the reality is he's not here. And so I started to get in a bit of a state, thinking I don't really want to go there. And then someone decides to start sawing some wood. Can you hear that in the background? I'll show you what I'm looking at the moment in a minute, just to show you how I deal with this kind of stuff. And true enough, I was already sweating by the time I got to the MOT garage. Lovely lady there. Just stopping and seeing everybody in their black hoodies, it's just what Darren used to wear in the winter, and seeing the cars up on the racks, and, you know, the inspection pit, the smell of oil, the sounds were all something that I regularly exposed myself to, because, you know, I used to go to his work nearly every single day. And because I couldn't bear to be not with him. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And if we weren't doing that, we were just on the phone permanently to each other, just FaceTiming each other. And even if we weren't talking, we just had that couldn't bear to be apart kind of thing. And I walked in, and again the smells hit me, and I thought, I'm gonna lose it here, because I just can't handle it. And, you know, she just wanted to note my phone number to give me a call after the MOT was done. And it was the same booking book that Darren uses, or used. And it really triggered me, and I was really surprised, you know, by leaving my key, because normally I just Darren would take it into work, or I would pop in and go, right, darling, and he'd just, you know, do the MOT, and it was all done. And it's just, it was part of our life. And so when you look at the things that you think are trivial, don't underestimate the power of grief. Don't underestimate the power of what you hold within, you know, because it was really upsetting. Because all my senses were triggered. And you can never predict grief. You can't predict it. You can't go by the 7 stages of grieving. It's a rough guesstimate, those stages, but you bounce around all over the place, and it gets you when you least expect it. I didn't even give a thought about this yesterday. Absolutely didn't even give it a thought. And then obviously inside somewhere was saying, oh my God, I don't want to go and do this. So it set off this morning, you know, me being really upset, and I'm like, what's the matter with me? And then it isn't until I stopped and sat here that I started looking in to what was wrong. As I came out of the garage, thank God I got Myla, so I brought her up here because it's right next to the garage. I'll show you, as I say, the view is absolutely amazing, and this is where I did my stop to sit and have a look at what was wrong with me. And there was 222 straight away, and then as I got onto the road, like on the path to come here, I wouldn't mind living here actually. I bloody love it. This part of the bay. This is Roundham. Perhaps I should manifest a little house here. And then a lorry went past with a rainbow on it, and in the main number was 111. And so Rainbow's Rainbow Bridge, I suppose, could be the babies, I don't know, or it's 111, but it just literally went right past me as soon as I come out the garage. And I've never seen that around here before. It's obviously a local skip, but I've never seen it. Like a big lorry, you know, skip lorry. And then a feather dropped down in front of me as I walked along the path. I still felt really bad. So I know that they were trying to say, it's okay, we got you, but it's still hard, isn't it? No matter what signs you see. It's a dragonfly over there now. Are they about this time of year? November? Good girl. Here's a good girl. So there were 2 options that I could have done. I could have walked into the harbour where everybody is and went for a coffee or whatever, or I could have walked here into nature and just sat by the sea. And I thought, right, I need to go and just absorb this and honour it. And this is what I recommend you do for anything that you've had to face doing that triggered you or has created a memory that's come up or whatever it is. Then you need to just get yourself out of it and just absorb it, honour it, and then just see if there's anything else you can do to help it. So I've just sat here for the last 10 minutes, just stopping and absorbing why I've been so upset, absorbing the trigger points and honouring it, saying, well, okay, you know, just take a breath, absorb the energy of the sea. So I asked Archangel Raphael to come in to just bring me some calm and healing over the grief. And then I just literally sat by this. Okay, darling. Come then. Hello, darlings. I just got back and got into my PJs. Isn't it just darling when you get home and you're in your PJs? Sorry, I got rudely interrupted. Suddenly there was an influx of people just going past again and again and again. I thought, oh, do you know what? I give up. And I needed to just spend some time. There's a bench right at the end of the headland there. And I just sat there looking out to sea with Milo on my lap, and it was just so restful, and I just honoured everything that had just taken place. So the reason I wanted to share that with you is because when you get to a certain age, this is why I've got lepidolite on as well. So I've got my lepidolite, which is for menopause. And I just find it's like a cuddle and a soothing when I put it on. And I put it next to the amethyst, which is for grief, along with other things. Very good healing crystal. And I'm just thinking, right, you've been through it today, cognitively, sentiently, so you felt and thought and reacted to various trigger points. So it's time for you to rest and acknowledge that, okay? Now, I know that I'm really lucky because I haven't got, you know, kids to run around for. I literally can look after myself, and I appreciate that. However, we all have 5 minutes spare because you're watching this, for instance. So make sure you spend time with yourself when you find yourself reacting emotionally to something, to find out why. Now, this is what I was talking about with the menopause. So, you know, I look at myself and I think, is it grief? Is it menopause? Or is it the ME and the fibro? Which one is it? And so I'm trying to work that out at the moment to find out what it is. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is what I decided when I was sitting on the bench, is like, right, you were triggered by going into the MOT garage. You've got to walk back in there. That's absolutely fine. And this is why this happened. So I thought it out, and then I thought, right, I'll get Archangel Raphael in just to bring that healing calm, and then ask Michael to give me the strength to walk back in again. I never thought I would react so much as I did. But the environment of the smells, you know, even the same booking in book they had, the black hoodies that Darren used to wear, all of it was just a massive, massive, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? And so I looked at that. All right. So I checked in with my inner child. I checked in with my body reacting, and I could feel it start to ache. So I knew that it was manifesting into physical things. So I thought, right, I'm going to take it easy when I get back. I've invested in an infrared sauna blanket. And so I sat in there. The only problem with it is, though, is that you get sweaty. So you then think, God, I've got to have a shower. Do you know what I mean? So it's hard work when you're a bit knackered. And then I looked at that. So I thought, right, that's the grief covered. My body's covered because it's reacted to, you know, this upset. And the third is menopause. So I thought, right, I'm just going to sit back with the lepidolite, let it do its thing for like 20 minutes and share all of this with you as I'm doing it. See, it's quite cathartic to share this kind of stuff with you because I don't feel that as someone that people watch, you know, that I should be all happy and fluffy all the time and dressed and made up and all that old pants. You've got to see all the upside and the downside, you know. It's really important. And so I always see Ariel as the sacred feminine. I just always see her connected with Gaia. And I've just said, just stay a while with me, Ariel. Just stay a while. Bring your frequency around me. Allow me to feel the abundance of the planet, growth, rebirth. Please help to activate the lepidolite in my heart chakra. Help it resonate with the amethyst. And then I just imagine myself sitting here with a huge pink light, visualising a huge bubble of pink light around me and Mila because she's on my lap snoring. She's taking the role of Mia. And then I just allow that to absorb for 20 minutes or as long as I want. I'm lucky because I can have as long as I want. So potentially I could sit here for an hour, I don't know, 2 hours, could even have a little nap, visualising that pink ray around me. And I know, are you all right, Baba? Oh. Do you want to come up here? See, she's taking the limelight like Mia. I think she wants to get out the sun. This house gets really hot in the winter. The sun is always vibrant through the windows, so that helps. So I make sure that I put crystals up at the window, sun catchers, to reflect light through the room. And you see loads of prisms, and it cuts through the atmosphere. That's what the reason for sun catchers is. It cuts through the energy and it purifies it. So that's why I have something at the window. And it's a real good mental health thing, because I was just sitting in the bedroom earlier, laying in the bedroom while I was doing the infrared, and the sun had hit all the prisms and they were just sparkling around the room. I'm like, because we love sparklies, because everything is so bright and sparkly and vivid and lucid and clear in the spirit world. And so to see that, anything sparkling, makes my soul and my heart sing. I absolutely love it. That is why I have so many sparkly things. And I think you might have, if you'd seen the short with the star Druzy agate, oh my life. So at night, I light a candle with all of my sparklies, and I just look and everything's sparkling and glittering. See, it's about creating a sanctuary. This is a bit of a free flow video today, because it takes a lot of energy to do predictions and read what's going on the planet. And I just haven't got it in me. You can mostly see I look really tired. And so I thought, what am I going to do? And then it was just speak your truth, speak from your heart. This is why I think, oh my God, I nicked this from Karma, look. This is why I think that I just love blue stones at the moment, Larimar and Topaz. Because I just communicating, speaking your truth, relieving your throat chakra of everything it wants to get rid of. Because if you don't, that's how you get your sore throats and all sort of problems with your throat and your neck. And I've been drinking that tea every day. You know, the one I told you that Catherine told me to drink. Faye gave me the initial ingredients and then Catherine added to it. But yeah, it's just everything in your body is like a cry for help, or it's an alert system. And also, I'm going to digress and most probably not continue with the relevant stuff I was talking about, because I just can't remember. Menopause, baby. You haven't got a chance. But it's just so fluffing hard, isn't it? It's just so hard. So the inner child that you connect with is giving you red flags. So if you suddenly hurt, there's a problem there. If you suddenly think something that isn't great, there's a problem there. So what you are inadvertently doing is the inner child, your inner soul, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, as I say, whatever title you want to give it, is saying there's an issue. And so what we tend to do, because we're so busy, you're right, darling, because we're so busy and because we've got so much to do, we ignore it until it gets to such a stage that we have to deal with it. And this normally ends up being so bad because it's manifested into your physical body. You end up going to your GP, going to your doctor, and then they just give you a load of tablets, and you've put yourself in this paradox of pants. That's really good. Paradox of pants. You're trying to do everything you can, but in the meantime, you're wearing yourself down and then getting to the very end of the red flag where you need to do something with it that involves chemicals. So the aim of the game for you to have a happier, calmer life, the aim of the game of having better mental health and well-being is to literally stop and listen as soon as something isn't right in your mind, body and soul, and alleviate it, deal with it. You know, if one of your children or your grandchildren comes in and they've cut their leg, you don't say, oh, let it keep bleeding, just leave it, I'm too busy, do you? You're straight on it. You're cleaning it up. You're cleaning it up, looking at what it is and what it needs to get better. So why do we keep failing to do that on ourselves? And this is what they taught me in that time I was in bed. Self-care, but not just self-care as in I have a cup of tea and watch a nice movie. Everything, mind, body and soul. Address it. So that beautiful space that I took you to earlier on, that was my absolute blissful place. That I love going up there. And luckily, so like you have to walk up the cliff tops on this path, which I'm like, no, I can't do that at all. But I was already up there because the garage was just around the corner. And so it was just blissful looking at a whole vista of the sea, sparkling in the sunshine on my face, taking a breath and just going, right, why did I react so badly in there? And then I just took myself through it. And then once you've ticked that box, and then I wrote it out in my soul journal just before I went and did the infrared bed. And that's it. That's all it takes. It's not a load of homework. And I think some people, especially if you've got something like fatigue or you've got a chronic illness, you're like, oh, it just sounds like too much. I can't even get my head off the pillow, you know. For some of you beautiful people out there, I get it. You're laying down completely, almost comatose. So then just think it out while you're laying there. You know, use your mind to just think out what is wrong. And there are things that you're not going to be able to change. You know, if what is wrong, I look at that Visible app that I told you about. I look at all the trends, and the depression comes in with the pain, the exhaustion, and it's literally, it's so obvious. Everything, when it hits. So sometimes when I'm sitting here and I think, I haven't done a video, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and I'm like, let's just stop there and see if you're beating yourself up or not. And then I think, well, it's because of my body. And I go down this wormhole of, you know, I've tried everything with this chronic illness and I'm sitting here rubbish, la, 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 la. And so I then have to stop myself. So if you can't change it, what's going on at the moment, then find ways to make it a positive day. Do you remember all my other videos where I've said, just literally put a good movie on, put your favourite music on, put some sound healing frequency. There's no effort with that. Put a good old 436 or a 528 on, whack it on, and just listen to that. So at least you feel like you're doing something for yourself rather than feeling helpless. You know, just helpless and weak and stuck with it. And just try and do anything you can that you are capable of doing, but don't concentrate on the things that you should be doing that you're not capable of on that given day. That's simple. And learning to say no. Learning to say, hang on a minute, I was really upset about that. Can you just give me 5 minutes? I need to absorb why and how it's affecting my body. How am I feeling? And so when you're doing that check-in, like I did up by the sea, I'm like, how's my body reacted to that physically? Where are the aches? My heart felt a bit, and I felt a bit down there, and my shoulders felt tense, my neck felt tense. And so I'm like, okay, I'll deal with that. Okay, I'm sorry you feel like that, but we'll get that sorted. So I was looking at the cut that the kid had and seeing what I could do about it. Hello, whoever that was. And that's how you do it. But because we're empaths, we always want to help everybody else. We always want to, what can I do for you? You've got to start turning it round to what can I do for me? What can I do to ease the pain, mentally, spiritually, physically? And, you know, one of the most important things to take with our chronic illness is magnesium. Take it before bed. We are deficient in magnesium. Vitamin D, when it's winter time. Obviously, a high dose of vitamin C. I recommend, if you're going to take any supplements, go for British supplements, because a lot of these companies put crap in the capsule shells. Try and say that, capsule shells. Just forget it. They put crap in the capsule shells. Capsule shells. Capsule shells. Seriously, try it right now. I bet there's thousands of you now sitting there going, capsule shells, capsule shells. And they can compound it and put all sorts of stuff in there to fill it out. So British Supplements, it's totally clean. Have a look. I'm not affiliated to them. I don't make any money for it. I'm trying to help you. But British Supplements, it is pure. Because there's all sorts of nasties. If you Google it, you'll be so surprised what they put in these health supplement things. The less cleaner companies. So have a look at what's in your capsules and what's filled within it. British Supplements, totally clean. Love them. Very high doses as well. So, you know, think of your supplements. And it just seems like, I don't want to overwhelm you, because when people say to me, how do you cope? How are you so positive? How do you, you know, keep going? Right? When it's just you do, don't you? You just keep going. And look, that brings me joy. The sun rays coming through, I see those as healing rays, as angel rays. I change everything to perceive it as something beautiful, spiritual, magical. That to me is magical. You only learn that when you are in a position of having a chronic illness and you realise how grateful you are for every single little thing. Every single little thing. Do you know what? See, my brain fog, I've just completely forgot what I was going to say about what I was just talking about. It does my head in, because I just thought of another thing. The other day I was with Danny and she goes, do you want to pop? I've got to go and pick something up from the shops. Do you want to come out? And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't been out for weeks, right? So I was like, this is just, so I really slowly got dressed, really slowly. You have to have breaks in between. And everybody that's got chronic illness would be like, yeah. So you have to have breaks in between. So you perhaps pull on your leggings or whatever, your trousers, your jeans, and then stop. And then that's how it goes. It takes ages getting ready for anything. Obviously, no makeup. Hair is so perfect having this hairstyle. That. And I was ready. And so she took me to the shops. And just to walk around the shops was making me emotional. Just a couple of shops. It wasn't a huge, because I couldn't manage it. Plus there were benches outside. Danny's amazing because she knows and reads me like a book. She's right, sit down now. After about 4 minutes, I have to sit down, right? When I'm really bad. And then, or sometimes it's a mobility scooter, but I'm doing all right because I'm pacing, I'm managing. I don't want to get back into mobility scooter. I want to keep moving my body. And so then she goes, you okay? And I'm like, stop, listen to my body. Yeah, I think I'm all right at the moment. Plus I've got the visible app to alert me if I'm in exertion zone. And so it was just ridiculously beautiful to be with someone, a friend, looking at clothes in a shop, because I don't get to do that. Sitting having well, I don't have coffee. I always say no milk, no coffee, no caffeine, no dairy, but just sitting having a coffee, talking to my friends. It's just joyous. It's joyous. Whereas people wouldn't even think of that. That's their first part of their day, and then they're off doing like loads of other stuff. To the gratitude I have for the most simplest things is beyond anything. And what was incredible is we were sitting there and I just thought, and she reads me, she knows, she goes, are you enjoying this? I said, I can't even tell you. This is just magical. I call it out. You know, when people say out, they mean they're all done up and going to some ball or something. My out is just managing to get out and see people when it's bad, when this is bad. And as we came out of Costa, this man said, free flowers, free flowers. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, free flowers. He said, they're only going to go in the bin. He said, so help yourself. So we got free flowers, and it was just, I don't know, you know, a skeptic could say, oh yeah, well, it's the end of the day, of course he's going to be giving away free flowers. I'm like, no, because it was timed perfectly. We were there to come out for him to say it and say, help yourself, ladies. So I've got these beautiful yellow lilies out the back, mini lilies out the back there, because I've got flowers everywhere. And I just look at them and it's just joy.
solar plexus, colour, yellow. Danny had the purple and the yellow. I said, you have the purple. So it's like spirit, colour of spirit, the colour of Jeremiah, colour of Zachariel, mercy, beauty, being kind to yourself, forgiving yourself. And so I even looked into the colours of what was given to us from the universe. Do you do that?
7 hours because of traffic. There's a hurricane going on up there. Josh, who is the head honcho, come and helped us get all the boxes in from the rain. Apart from that, here we go.
What's going on?
The real thing.
The calendar.
23 years. Oh my goodness. They look at that. Look Teddy Bo, me and Moo. Oh, they've come out better than I could possibly imagine, girls. Well done. Let's have a look. Oh, look. Oh, they are just incredible. Oh, look. Oh, look at the back. Girls, we need a group count.
What about me?
Come on, get in there.
It's not hard work, because once it's like, at the moment, Mila's getting training. She's so tired, bless her. She's getting training, and we've just been up and walked, obviously, up on the cliff tops and everything. And so see, look, I've forgotten, this is what the brain fog's like. But, you know, some people are going to say, oh, you're rambling on. And I just instantly block them, because they don't realise that I'm trying to talk to you with part of this as my disability. So the people that say you're rambling on or talking crap, they're gone, because they're not respecting who I am. They're judging and not knowing the full story. And I just haven't got time for people like that. So it's another self-love thing, you know. What was I going to say? See, I can't even remember what I was going to say about Milo, and that was like a second ago. It's so frustrating. I don't know how I do this. Do you know that? How do I keep this running? Because I'm looking out for myself. I can't even remember what I was going to say about Milo now. Sorry. But you either take the good days and the bad days, or you don't take any of them, you know. It's literally, I'm not going to not talk to you just because my brain isn't working. I think it's important for awareness that, you know, I joked about having menopause and ME, but together it is an absolute nightmare, because you can't communicate, you can't remember. When I watch things on the television, I have to keep going back and rewinding it, because cognitively I cannot take on board what's happening, and it's just part of it. And then I just give up. So I put the sound frequency on. Sorry, so yes, so thank you. Oh, hello, Catherine. Oh, can you please help me? Because I'm talking pants. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your assistance. Right, so apparently I was talking about, I love her so much. I was talking about me giving you things to do, and you feel like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. But it's like Mila, you know, you have to train yourself, or I'm training her, to give her peace, because she gets anxiety on the lead, right? She was an absolute superstar today. She's absolute superstar in her training. Gorgeous Fern adores her. She's such a lovely, lovely girl. Fern, elemental name, and she's an elemental. And so, you know, you have to do a bit of training. You have to do a bit of homework to get where you need to go. However, she will now, after her training, she will now learn that, and before she knows it, automatically she'll be looking for a treat, and she'll be happy as Larry or happy as Mila. So when you start interacting with yourself Start thinking I'm going to have these supplements. Start thinking I'm going to have some sound frequency. Rather than overwhelm yourself, write a list of what you'd like to do for yourself. You don't have to do it all. And just start with baby steps. Just start with 1 every day. I'm going to do that now every day. And then add 2. And then what happens is your guides know what you're implementing and what you're doing, and angels. And you know as well, your brain system will recognise routine. And you'll start just automatically doing it without even thinking. It won't be a chore. It won't be a training session. It won't be homework. It will literally be natural. Your brain will just say to you, you got to do that now. Oh, yeah. And it won't be a chore. But if someone gives you a full list, you got to do that, you'd be like, oh, shut up. And you'd just shut the book, wouldn't you? Someone showed you a list of stuff to do. You'd be like, are you joking? I'm too busy, or, I'm not well enough, or just no. And the other thing is as well, is don't beat yourself up if you don't do it. Who cares? Being aware of yourself is the biggest key to your happier life, more abundant life, your well-being. It really is. And it's so annoying because I can feel my eyes like going. But inside I'm raring to go because I've fed my soul. I've fed my emotional system. So even when my body's saying no, inside is saying go. It's loving it. So I'm happy. I'm happy and content. And I just literally feel calm and at peace with the fact that I need to perhaps stay on my PJs for a day. Who cares? It used to be you're wasting another day, you're getting older, can't do this, you can't do that. And, I used to think of what I couldn't do. It's one of the biggest things you have to do. And anything happens to you that changes your life, your lifestyle, your health, you tend to look at what you can't do anymore. And you have a massive, massive step of having to accept your new life. Because the denial part keeps you, look at if you read Me, Myself and I, you'll see, I literally was for a year in denial until I collapsed halfway through a show. What was I thinking? Just stuffing myself with vodka and Red Bull and bloody tablets and God knows what. Oh my God. But I didn't like myself then. I didn't care. I had to keep going. I had to keep going. I had to serve the public. I had to do this show. I had to honour my tour. I had to do this. And it's like, I look at that now and think, what were you on? Obviously Red Bull. But it's like, how bad is Red Bull? It's disgusting. It's balls testosterone. It's disgusting, chemically caffeine led. Oh my God. It is an awful drink. So damaging. Even your caffeine intake, have a look at that. I haven't had caffeine for about, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years, something like that. I decided to stop taking it because I know how bad it was for your system, which is funny, isn't it? Because inadvertently, hello baby, inadvertently, it's one of our biggest problems is caffeine. It's not good for our bodies with chronic illness, chronic pain. And if I accidentally, I can smell it now though. I can smell caffeine. So I don't even have to taste it. But in the early days, I accidentally took a couple of sips. I was talking to someone and it was like a chocolate thing. And so it was like hot chocolate. So I'm drinking it and then I'm like, and I most probably had about 4 or 5 sips before I realised, like big gulps, and then that was it. I was white, throwing a full-on whitey, just literally went grey, sweating, trembling, fell on the floor. They were going to call an ambulance. They thought, my God, she's having a fit or a seizure or God knows what. Everybody was crowded around me. It was so embarrassing. That was caffeine. And those were the days back then when they don't put a label on it anymore. Do you know, they put like decaffeinated and oat milk or whatever. And I was so ill. And then I managed to crawl again. Can you imagine, on a Costa floor? I managed to crawl to the toilet and then just puke my guts up, saturated in sweat. So that just shows you what caffeine does to your body. And I appreciate that a lot of people need it to keep them going. But, you know, mind, body and soul, try the best you can to put the best you can in your body. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it's looking at what harms you and trying to keep away from it as far as possible. So with the awakening, with you becoming more conscious, and this was a pivotal question that was asked in the members' live stream about the 5D consciousness and, you know, how much percentage of light we've got in us. It's not so much percentages in mathematics, where everything based on math, isn't it? But it's part of the awakening is looking after your vessel and looking after the soul that the vessel holds. It doesn't really hold it. The soul goes beyond the vessel, but it's looking at maintaining your space as best as you can on this journey, on this safari, on this experience, you know. And so it's key. And so many people ask, you know, how do I know if I've ascended? You'll know, because part of the ascension is you being mindful of yourself, what you're exposing yourself to, what food, what drink, what people, what situations, what work. And then you'll just naturally think, well, no, I've got to be more responsible for myself. And I need to rectify this. I need to feed what is starving and protect myself from what is hurting. And you'll start making some radical moves that you know are right for you. People will be like, what has gotten into her? Him? What's going on? You're owning your light. That is just so perfect. Look at that. It's getting brighter and brighter. Look at the colours. That's us. That is us. This is very similar to what we look like without an avatar. So can you imagine now throwing black tar on that, shutting the curtains and stopping that light from coming in? That's what you're doing when you're allowing your mind, body and soul to hurt. Look at it. That is you. That brilliant, beautiful light. And it's like, say for instance, my calendars are pictures of those archangels. They're taken 3 years to create that, with a graphic designer and artist, lovely Eric. It's blood, sweat and tears. It's taken me years to get those images to perfection of what I see and what I visualise. Can you imagine just scrawling through them with a felt pen, or cutting them up, or putting a silly face on them with a moustache? You wouldn't do it, would you? It's beauty. That is hard blood, sweat and tears beauty. It's my version of how I see my angels, right? So why would you do that to it? You display it, you put it up, and everybody feeds from the energy, vibration of that imagery. I can't wait for it to be January. I'm going to put mine up anyway on the wall, right? But just looking at imagery feeds your sensory system. Oh, sorry, baby. I'm sorry, darling. Didn't see her then, he poked her in the eye. Sorry, baby. So feed yourself everything you can. Feed that. God, looks like my aura there. Can you see? Can you see that glow around my hand? But if you stop for a while, you can see that. You can see your aura around you. I've even done workshops where you can play with your auras, your auric energy, and you can see the threads of energy. Have a go. So put your hands up like this, right, and then stare through them. So you're focusing like in the background. There it is. And then you'll see like a very, oh, there it is. It's like a pale, mine's like a pale bluey grey thread. It looks like I've got a hair or something. But don't focus on it too much. Stare through it, right? I mean, I've lost it again now because I looked at the camera. Hang on. There it is. You can actually, and people that have been in the workshops doing this are like, oh my God. And then what you can do is once you're in that realm, you can then see the energy around your finger. Just take your finger away and you'll see a glow and like different depths of energy around your fingers. When you start spending time with yourself and watching this sort of thing, you realise you're that. You're light, frequency, sound. And every single thing in this planet can affect the outcome of how you get through your day. Positive or negative. And I'll tell you something else to do, right? This is what I used to do in the early days, which I've always taught my students as well, is when you are sitting, I can see it even on the camera. It's got my eyes in now. It takes a while for you to get your eyes in, but once they're in, you can see the energy and you can even touch it and you can even see what colours are around you. So when in the early days, what I used to do was, right, if I was like on a train, which is very rare to be fair, I was on the train when he would work out of Belgravia when I was on this serial rapist case. He was a monster, that bloke, and I had to work out of London. How you do it, I don't know anybody that has to do that bloody doodah into London. Can't even remember the word. Begins with T. You're all going to be putting it in comments now, aren't you? So you have to go into London every day. Oh, it was hell. And every night I'd have like black stuff up my nose. Oh, God. Anyway, so I used to sit there and do it to keep me going in the mornings before I got to the investigation unit, right? So what you do is, if you're in like a waiting room or on the train or on a bus or something like that, anybody sitting opposite you, right, just stare about a foot above their head. It's easier in a waiting room, to be fair, because if you've got a blank wall behind, it's really easy to see an aura. And you stare about a foot above the head. Do not look at them directly. They mostly think you're a nutter anyway. And, right, stare above their head. And very slowly, don't be tempted to look down. Very slowly, you'll see their auric field start to create itself around their body. Because when we look at it, as I've told you before, the left-hand logic brain says what you're looking at, and it just mucks it all up. That's what it just mucked up for me, because I looked at the camera, right? So what you do is you literally stay staring above it, and you will see the auric field. You'll see any colours in it, the more you do it, and you'll know exactly if they've got the if they're happy, sad, in love, whatever. It's really easy. There's so many easy things you can do to develop yourself. It really is. Just try it. Let me know how you get on. Tell me where you were and if you saw it and if you saw colours. And I still do it now. I'm doing it my whole life. I did it as a kid, which I didn't know I was doing. I just saw it and thought, oh, everybody can see that. It's just a normal part of life, me seeing all these like big glowy colours around people. Animals, any life force. You can do plants. So I'm looking at my yucca plant. There it is. And you'll see the shimmer of energy coming off it. Anything. You can see the energy, the life force coming off it. It will take some time. That's got red around it. Perhaps it needs a feed. Base chakra colour, isn't it? Unless it represents strength. And that's what you've got to work out as well. How you interpret the colours. Never thought I'd see red emanating from a plant. Interesting. And after this, I'll sit in that colour and see what the colour represents from that plant. See, colour isn't textbook. I remember going to the Arthur Findlay College and there was this speaker, whatever you want to call him, tutor, and he said, like, the textbook, this means this means that, this means that. And it's like, because yes, I agree with the chakra system, but some people interpret red as danger, whereas because of their ego system that's been implemented in recognising things, so they might see red as danger, others see red as love. People see pink as healing, some see it as communication, some see it as love. So go with your perception of how you feel colour relates to you. That's important. So I didn't agree with what he said there. You know, this textbook, this is what this colour means. It's like, no, because that can be interpreted differently for different people because of their life experiences. They have to go with what they know, because whatever you then get fed into your energy, your guides will know, well, she sees red as love, so let's show her red. Do you know what I mean? So go with what you perceive your colours to be. Most of the best colour work healers I've ever known, their perception of colours is completely different. As I say, there is a broad kind of generalised list of what colours represent, but go with what you feel. I kind of like these free flow conversations, just having a chat with you about what's going on in my mind. My mind never shuts up, ever. And this is most probably, you know, they call it tired and wired with our condition, but, you know, my head's awake all the time, thinking, searching, looking, regurgitating experiences during the day. How did I feel? What did I do? And I don't know if it's guides putting it through, whatever it is, just, you know, trying to get rid of it all or processing it all before I go to sleep. But that's why we have dreams. And then some of those dreams, they will be interpreted by our guides to see if they are just a natural progression of what the brain is processing, or it's visitation they can bring in, or they'll say, right, she's processed that, we'll now give her this to feed her strength in that area or whatever. So your dream space is pretty much an open book to welcome in your loved ones, angels, spirit guides, as well as the normal process of biologically, you know, letting your brain synapses do their thing and process whatever they need to process in a dream. So every time I get a dream, I always know when it's a psychic dream or visitation. It's lucid, clear, colourful, and I remember absolutely everything about it. Everything. Right? If it's a bit wishy-washy and I kind of, and then I analyse it, you can either do it through, a dream analysis website, or you analyse it and think, I know why I dreamt of that because it was on the telly just before I went to bed, or I saw that on a meme or whatever. So sometimes it is your brain processing. Other times it's pure spirit connection, angel connection, spirit guide downloading. My dreams are epic. That's how I got Earthwalkers, remember? And I had another absolutely epic one the other day. It was so good. Do you know what? I'm going to say it now because it might manifest into a book. Basically, I was walking in this marketplace. I was at a character, and there was this beautiful black lady who was running this stall, and she was my best friend and like my soul sister. And she had been taught like herbs and natural medicines. And so her stall was like all herbs and medicines and little spells and things like that, all like white magic, beautiful stuff, right? And so I went, "You all right, darling?" She goes, yeah, I'm all right. I said, "I'll go and get you a cup of tea." So I went and I popped into this toilet and then came out, got a cup of tea. And as I came round, I said to her, "God, you look freezing." I said, "You all right?" And then she got sucked. Like literally, she went, "Ooh," and was getting sucked away. And I'm like, what's going on? And she got sucked away. and then there was this big black mass behind, and it had all writhing different souls in it. It was awful. And she was screaming, and then suddenly it went and the black enveloped her and she disappeared. And as that happened, there was a bright light that basically activated who I was. And I was a shapeshifter. Right? I could shift into anything I wanted. And I went into this kind of state, and I realised that this is a dream, right? I remember all of it. I realised that she was the next in line to take over the magic ancestry. So she was the next in line to be the queen, if you like, of magic, the queen of Wiccan, the queen of Druidism, all of it, the queen of the Fae. She was next in line. Her mum, her grandma, she didn't even know her mum, took on this important legacy to lead the Fae, to lead magic, and to lead everything of Gaia and Ariel. And the dark had taken her because they knew that they wanted to break the legacy so they could start infiltrating darkness. Right? And so I then stand by the sea and I shapeshift into a dolphin, go down to the dolphin, which are in Lemuria and Atlantis, communicate with them what's happened. And then they say, well, some of us are shapeshifters as well, but we choose to stay in Lemuria and Atlantis. And I'm like, can you help me? And they, yes. And so I get this like crew. We come out the sea, manifest into humans, and we start. And because we've done sonar, we're trying to infiltrate the dark frequency to find out where it is geographically. And so we start following the trail and shapeshift and have all sorts of adventures, trying to find where the darkness is to get her back. I'm not going to say the end bit because that will spoil it in case I turn it into a book. But that's my sort of dreams. Darren used to wake up and say, you had one of your dreams last night because you're doing this, you're doing that. Sometimes it's part of previous life. And I'm like a merwoman fighting in the colonies. And then other times he's like, do you have one of your dreams? Or he goes, go on then. He goes, hang on. I'll go and make a cup of tea. Hang on. So make a cup of tea and he goes, and now you can begin. And he used to go, he said, it's just incredible. He said, I just can't believe it. So they're either downloads, which possibly it could be. I don't know. Perhaps they're filling me with beauty and all this paradise in my alpha brainwave state just to feed me goodness. But don't know. But yeah, could turn into a book, but it's a time and energy to bloody do it. If I could, perhaps I should get a shadow writer and just tell him my story. But, or him. But yeah, dreams are magical. And, literally things like, I'm going to have a brain fart again now, aren't I? Amazes. Oh, for goodness sake. I've gone blank. I'm trying to think of the crystals that I've still got, the Boji stone and the orchid stone and these by me. Oh my. I'll tell you now. I won't show you it. I'll show it on the next one. At last, we have secured from the Lemurian mines, Lemurian 13-point Vogel crystals. Fluffing out. You wait till you see it. Oh my God. Vogel crystals. We've got them. I cannot believe it. Seriously. They are beauties. Anyway, I've taken up too much of your time now. I've just looked at the time. So I'll talk about Vogel crystals next time. If you're that, oh my God, what? Google it. They are the magic of the magic, I'm telling you. So thank you for the free flow. I hope that there's inspiration there. Please let me know what you think of the free flow. You know, I try and establish a routine of I do this and do that. I just can't. I don't know how I'm going to be. And I can't apologise for that, because that's representing and feeding my auric strength, which in turn feeds my avatar. So I'll just do what I need to do, because the stress of saying what I should be doing, that's not good for me. Start owning your energy. If there's anything you can take from here, just make little notes and do baby steps towards you being a bigger, brighter, more efficient you. You will see the change, and you will notice that anything bad that comes along, or anything challenging or irritating, you're just like, whatever. Have a little blowout to begin with, and then you don't hold it. So I hope you've enjoyed my little chat in my favourite PJs, my Winnie the Pooh PJs. Thanks for listening, and let me know what you think. Until the next time, thank you for your patience and my non-routine ways. I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love to all of you. Bye now.